I finished up the last 7 days of my 28-day challenge, and I was reading, for the most part, the same book. I didn't really get into any podcasts in this section because the book I was reading was very interesting, and I felt like the short stories were teaching me a lot of lessons, and I wanted to keep going with those. So one of the ones that stuck out to me was one called Mysterious Connections That Link Us Together, and it was about a professor who was explaining about some of the relationships he had with his students, and two of the students he never really got along with, and they would always combat the things he was saying, and then this professor ended up losing his job. But then those two students that he never got along with actually ended up going and talking to the professor's boss and explaining how they really thought that he was an insightful teacher and how they didn't think that he should lose his job for whatever reason that was. And this was the mysterious connection that linked the professor together with these students, because he never expected them to kind of have his back. So it kind of just taught me to work hard and establish the bonds and relationships with everyone, because you never know when it could come back to help you. Next, I read a short story called Happy Talk by Oscar Hammerstein, and this one brought up an interesting concept, and he was stating that he finds it unusual that nobody really announces when they're feeling good or when they're feeling happy. We only talk about how we're upset or if something bad happened, and I thought this was interesting because it's true. Nobody just randomly states that they're feeling good one day or that they're feeling happy, because it's way more dramatic and entertaining when someone is crying about something or experiencing another negative feeling. So I was speaking with my roommate, and we had kind of decided to try and speak more of when we're feeling positive, just to keep that positive energy going. So I thought that was something that I could bring into my everyday life. Next, I read this short story, and this one actually stuck out to me the most out of any of the stories that I read. It was by an author, Jackie Lantry, and it was centered all around the power of love and what it can do to somebody who has had that be kind of lacked in their life or experienced traumatic moments in their life. And it was about this family who adopted this orphan boy who was tortured and abused at the orphanage. And when they first adopted him, he was very scared and would cry at the simplest things, such as like being given a bath or being fed or anything, because he was just terrified of like the humans in this world based on his negative experiences in the past. And the author stated how just over time, in 4 or 5 years, this family just like kept putting forth love and kept showing him that he could trust them, and then eventually he came around. So I thought, and was very just trusting and loving of his new family, and I thought this story was really important because love is something that we have access to at all times. No matter what happens, we always have the power to love, and I just feel like we need to use this power more, because you can see what it does to somebody who had experienced these traumatic events in their life. It saves somebody's life, something as simple as just giving love. So there's nothing stopping us from passing this feeling on a day-to-day basis, and I feel like this can be put forth into my life every day.